and really excited to hear, from Priyanka that all of you have been making a progress in what you are learning. I'm really, really happy and, really happy to hear that everyone is getting to know solidity. I think in the last session, I have shared a resource in the chat box. I don't want to keep it, as I have always mentioned in my sessions previously, that I don't want to keep it like, theoretical. There's always a bit of practicality involved in it, because that helps you to understand SDK, and as well as like what are the use cases. We'll try to talk about the use cases today, and I will try to show you one of the examples that I had been building from a long time, and I had faced a couple of errors. It was like trial and run. I might also give you some extra, I don't know, like you can call tips for whatever you'll be learning next, and then you'll be building on top of SDK, right? So yeah, feel free to go ahead with the documentation that I've shared, like specifically for the session. I'll try to open the same as well on my end, and we'll try to do like a quick overview from that. And from there, we'll take up forward to the next demo that I have for you. Okay, just give me a moment. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, pretty much right. Like we started off our first session understanding the UX problems, which was like managing the MetaMask, saving the seed phrases, keeping the private keys really private, and paying the gas fees in the ETH all the time. Like even today, I had to. So I'm participating in another hackathon called Hack FS. This is one from the ETH Global. It's an online hackathon. I had to stake a bit of ETH for that hackathon, and I had so much trouble doing that. So there is that even though we are talking about these UX complexities, not everyone is able to solve at that point of time. So this is what I really hope to see in the coming days when you will start working around your own dApps in a group. And if you really feel that you want to solve the problems that most of us are facing in Web3 ecosystem, then definitely SDK is your go-to place, right? You can have a Web3, you have like onboard towards onboarding to dApps, sending transactions, all these things. So we are going to solve those problems using the SDK when you will start building your dApp, right? I've also explained about the smart contract wallets versus the EOA wallets, and how they are different, how you can program it according to your own application. If you are going to have your own ERC20 token, or you're going to have your own ERC721 token, how you can use it in the SDK itself, right? So I think I wanted to really show one of the demo, which is with the Uniswap demo, but the only problem is that it might be slightly technical for you to understand. So what I'll do is I have attached links right here. Okay, so I will be attaching more starter links so you can try out yourself. By the way, like Uniswap is basically, it's like a platform where you can swap your tokens, your assets. And what we have done is we have built like a demo with the Uniswap, okay, which is live on Polygon mainnet, where you can swap your token, and what happens is that that transaction goes, there's a batch transaction that goes. There's like an approve call, and then there's a send call. So once you get a bit idea around that, then it will be really easy for you to build a dApp, right? So I'll add those links here. But for the time being, let's focus on the baseline. The first thing we discussed was, of course, the social login, how you can enable that. Then these are the social login module functions that I've listed for you. How do you initialize the Web3 auth provided by that? The second thing we talked was around the gasless transaction. So I remember there were people who asked that, just a moment. I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Nice, nice. So yeah,
Yes.
gasless transactions, you have like a single transaction, which is like just any normal transaction. You're transferring from one account to another, right? And then you have the gasless batch transactions. So this is what we'll check out today, that how batch transactions are happening, how many clicks does it takes. If there's like enough time, I might show you the Uniswap one as well. But if not, then I'll just add the link to it, right? So we'll talk about the batch transactions and then we'll start a bit of, you can say, use cases, right? So you tell me, like, if you want me to explain about the batch transaction and then go on the use case, would that be a better approach? Okay.
Come on, girls. I think you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you can't unmute, then at least drop a text that I know I'm going in right direction.
Yeah. No.
That would be fine. I'll just explaining first.
Oh, Garima. Yes. Go Prisha, go Bhumika. It's our last session with Vanshika, so let's give her all the good momentum. Yeah. Yeah, Garima, go ahead.
Okay. So we are going with the batch transaction first. Cool. So last time when we talked about batch transaction, we were thinking that how batch transactions work out, right? And I did mention that you can have more than like two transactions. So batch transaction would be like more than one transaction that you do, but you can always go overhead, have like couple of more transactions added to it if you're doing one. There is this thing, right? You know, DeFi applications, which is like the decentralized finance applications, which are the very good use case when you are trying to build something around swaps. Swap, what is swapping is like, you, let's say I have got one token, I have got Matic, okay, and I want to have USDC. So instead of buying the USDC, what I'll do is I will convert my Matic in USDC. Okay. When you do the swap, you need to do two things. You need to have an approved transaction and then you send that transaction. So these are like two different calls that happens usually. But let's say when you use the Biconomy, you get just in one single click, you are able to do that transaction. Now, last time we did mint one of the ERC 721 token. We had AA NFT, like a workshop, like a demo thing, and most of you minted out that NFTs. This time, I have a different NFT, but the thing is, like, this one is not on the production yet, so it's like on my local host, but I do have a GitHub link for it. So if you want to try out on your end, I'll add that link as well, right? So let me just quickly present the code, that how batch transactions work out. How much do you write? How much do you need to write actually? And then how do you initiate a transaction? Okay. So I'm gonna quickly stop sharing and I will share my new screen. Can you see my screen? No, not right now. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. So another, it's like a tip you can say again. There is this thing called in GitHub, right? You can run the repositories by going to code spaces. So if you are new to VS Code and you don't want to like download a lot of these dependencies on your computer, then you can always try out this. Okay, so I'll try to present the code through this. Let's see if we can run it on our end. Okay. So remember, like last time we were looking at a counter contract where we were incrementing the count every time we would mint the NFT, right? So this is a contract which is like specially for a different, you can say different NFT. Okay. And what happens is that we would be passing an SVG file. Okay, so why SVG file? Because if you would have written an NFT contract and you would be minting on Remix, then it would be showing it would be showing something like this, right? That you can mint it, and then there will be like a token ID allotted to you. So it will just come in the Remix. You cannot really see anything on the OpenSea side. But this time, this one generates like a whole proper NFT. So I will show you how it looks like in the end. So this is why there's like a huge code of SVG file where I've mentioned the vector files and all that. You don't really need to do this. There are two ways to when you create like an NFT, you have two different way of doing it. You have an SVG file, or otherwise you can save it in the IPFS. So IPFS approach is like you create like a link. There is like a separate link created for your asset, and it's stored, and then you can use it. It's like there's like a metadata attached to it. Okay, so we will not go into that right now. We will just explore the SVG part of it. Okay. So let me just test this out on my end once. I think it's working. Okay. Can you see my code right now?
Yeah, we can.
This is a GitHub one that you're seeing, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna shift to let me quickly see. Okay. I'll just shift to desktop one. Can you see the VS code?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay, superb. Nice. So this was the contract I wrote, and I had some callback errors, which means this was not readable at all for some reason. But I think eventually it started working out. So here, yeah, see, like don't be worried if you ever get like a callback error, because sometimes it's the issue with the extension that we have installed in your VS Code. So if you're trying it out on Remix and you're able to compile it where you're able to run it well, then that means that your code is working. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this entire code. Okay, I'm going to post it on Remix so that you can see for yourself that how it's working out. I will change my screen, so hopefully the Remix should be visible. Okay. So the Remix IDE. I'll create a new file called, let's say, I'll name it on your end, okay, like this. And I'm going to copy this. sometimes you will get there's an override. Okay, there's an override thing, but it's working out here well. So if I just delete this part of code, it will work well. Okay. Okay. So here, you will always define the compiler that you would be using. Okay, I've mentioned one here, but here's a different compiler. So I'll just add, I have added this sign, like this means like any compiler above 0.8.1 will be valid with this kind of contract. Okay, so you might see these kind of thing, and I'm just trying to explain that to you. So Open Zeppelin offers you set of contracts that you usually import in your main contract, like whenever you're calling your function. So if you would have written a contract, you might not have imported one, but there is this thing called Open Zeppelin Wizard, which helps you to write your own contract. So I'm just adding more new stuff that you can, learn and, build later onwards. It's like kind of time saving. Okay, so you can see we usually have like 3 types of tokens, but this one is like ERC20, while these two are the NFT tokens. Okay, so whenever you are writing an NFT token, either it would be ERC1155, which is a rare case. Most of us write it in 721. So the code that you saw in Remix, that was a 721, ERC 721 code. Okay, so here you would add your name. So let's call it like this. Okay, and then I want the token symbol to be GIB. Okay, and then you can create this change. Okay, so ERC721.sol is your base contract that you are inheriting, and most of your functions as per this contract will be called. Okay, so there are certain functions which is part of ERC721. Okay, so last time when we saw, we had like the counter thing, right? So we can kind of like check it out later onwards. Now these are the features of ERC721. There is mintable, which means that whenever you want to mint the NFT, then there is auto increment ID. So you see, every time I'm adding a function, there is a different contract inherited. So, and this is something like there should be an order to the inheritance, because if you, let's say, if you change this order, you're calling it here, and then you are changing the order of, let's say, contract my token is ownable, and then ERC721, you will face inheritance issues. Okay, so you want to avoid that. So if you want to ever check how to inherit contracts and in what order, then you can always use the Open Zeppelin Wizard, because these are the contracts that you will usually see in any tab. Okay, burnable and possible, we won't check this one out because we don't need. So this is like burning the NFT. It's another high level thing and we don't really need it, so we'll just skip the burnable, possible, and the votes. Innumerable means that you can get the token ID. Okay, so if you ever want to have token ID from the contract, then you need an ERC721 innumerable. So again, if you check it out here, you will have it. You can like just check the extending contracts. Okay, overriding hooks. Hang on. Okay. So yes, this is how extending this part of the contract works. And then I have the URI storage. So URI storage means that you are saving your token URI, which is the link to your metadata for NFTs. So if you would have used Remix, then something like this would happen. Okay, I will try to take a dummy account and I will deploy it, but I don't think I can check it out on OpenSea. So let me just connect my MetaMask. Let's see if we have some funds. Polygon Mumbai testnet. Oh yes, we do. So that's good. And let's connect our MetaMask. So if you want to test it out with MetaMask, you can test it out. It should show connected here. Okay. And this is your account here. So let's try doing one thing. We'll just clear the console. Okay. And let's deploy it. you will get a signature because you're using an externally owned account. Okay, once you put the signature into the code, what will happen is your contract will be created here in the deployed contract. You would know it, and then you can click on mint. Okay, now it will create another signature where you have to mint it out. And these are the functions that are callable from the contract. Okay, so let's wait for a second. It's saying pending. It's been too long. Okay, yes, it minted. Sometimes it might take long for you to mint when you're using an EOA with MetaMask. Okay, so now that we have minted, what we'll do is we'll try to test out. Let me see. So my token ID will be changed to 1. Why? Because I have minted my first NFT. So let's see what happens when we check that out. So owner of the first token ID, every NFT has an own ID. So this is the address that is the owner of that token ID. So if you check out my MetaMask, it starts with 0x272, which is the same address here because I minted it using that. So now I'm going to take this address and let's go on OpenSea. Okay. I have lots of assets on the OpenSea because I minted a lot of NFTs to test out the product. So let's check it out. Okay. Okay. So this is the newest NFT that we have minted. Okay. And this is how it looks like. On chain, you can see gasless NFT minted with Biconme SDK. And it's also calling NFT minted with token ID #1. This design is an SVG file. Okay. So if you go and check it out on Remix, I have called ERC721, ERC721 enumerable, URI storage, ownable counters, base 64 and strings. These are for these are when you need to have like strings and base 64 exchange, okay, in the code. So let's take you to a couple of these functions. So this is my mint NFT. Okay. Now, yes, this is the data URI. So this is a little bit high level thing, but I will try to explain that when you see the token ID, which is like 1, and you see this NFT image, how are we getting that is because I have created a function called get NFT ID token ID here. And I call that within my SVG file. So every time the token ID will change, my NFT will have a different token ID being changed in the SVG file of NFT as well. So let's see this one. Okay. So the name, wait, I think I just changed it. Okay. So here I like minted the Biconme NFT, let's say 9, and the token ID is changing. So this is like a dynamic NFT which changes with every token ID that I'm minting. Okay. And this here we are using the base 64 because we are trying to encode our data and our SVG file. Okay. This contract is available purely on the GitHub. So you can always like check out how I'm using the functions. Okay. Then you have the function mint, function transfer NFTs, and get owned NFTs. So the reason we used ERC721 enumerable is because it provides you with the function like balance off. Okay. So there's like a list you can always check out that, like, let's say I'm gonna search it for you so you can see. Okay. So yes, here you're able to get the list of the EIPs. And then if you go further, you'll be able to see the functions. Okay. So we used, let me just see. So we used enumerable. So these are the functions that you can always call. Okay. And they're like properly explained in OpenZeppelin. Yes, this one. So you have got functions of total supply, token by index, token of owner by index. So if you see, when we import these contracts, we will get these functions mentioned here. Total supply, you will get UIN 2561 because we have minted one NFT. So total supply is a function of ERC721 enumerable. Okay, if you wouldn't import it, you wouldn't get it on the set of functions mentioned here. Okay. Again, if I will add the address of, let's say, my address owner and I call balance off, I will get one again here because it's going to check that what is the balance that I have in my MetaMask account. Okay. So similarly, and these are the functions that you can then later onwards call into your on the script side, like on your backend. Okay. So this is how the contract is written. Slightly difficult for you to understand probably right now, but we'll test it out and we'll see that, like with one contract where we are just calling the mint function once, transfer function once, get owned NFTs, all that. How we do a batch transaction, how do we mint two NFTs, but in a single click. Okay. So this is my code. Okay. This is like a full stack code. So I will do npm run dev. Why? Because I have my node modules. There is a backend part to it, and then there's a front end part to it. So the front end is written in White plus React, and other code is written in TypeScript. Okay. So yeah, it's TypeScript and React and White. So let's do npm run dev. I hope there shouldn't be an issue with the code. So let's try to check it out. So it's running on my local host. I will go and open my developer tools. Okay, before we start this part of the batch transaction, any questions that any one of you have right now? Anyone? All good? Can anyone like drop a text if everything is like clear? Okay, all clear, all good. Superb. That's really nice to hear. Okay, so I've cleared my console so that you can see what's happening in the code. I hope this is the contract code. I'll open my minter.tsx, which is my TypeScript file. So if you see, I've also, everyone knows HTML, right? So I've also got my HTML code inside the TSX file. Okay. So that's how I've written my HTML part of it. But then there is index.html file within White. So you can call the module here and scripts here. It's like a whole full stack, but we'll just see how the demo works out right now. Okay. So let me just clear the console. Let's go and do a login with a smart contract wallet address. So there is social login in it. Okay. Then this is like module registration. And yes, okay. Let's try to sign in. Hopefully there should be any issue. Okay, nice. So you will see that I used my my smart account address with my Google account, and there is an EOA address coming in here. This is like HTML error, so don't get worried about this part. Okay, so this is I'll just zoom it out if I can, wait. Okay, yeah. So this is a EOA address and this is my smart account address. Okay. Now, side by side, I'm going to show you what happens when we do this entire operation. Okay, so what I've done is I have tried fetching the balance of this smart account address. Okay, which means and there's like a whole count set. So it will check the balance of the NFTs that I hold in this address right now. And if you want, this NFT will act like a balance, which means that I hold this much of NFT in my account. So I can mint 2 NFTs in a single click, and then I can view this minted NFT on smart account of, okay, this is like a little bit of error I've done on button. So I can mint the NFT and I can check it out on the smart account address on OpenSea itself. Okay, so let's try to see what's happening here. Okay, I'll take you to my minter.tsx file. This is inside the components. The same exact code is on GitHub, so you can always go and check it out. I'll add the link later onwards. So here I'm importing my minter.css file because I have like added, you will see I've added like gradient and all in that. Another thing is I'm using the React, I'm using ethers as my library. I'm importing my ABI. So ABI is really, really necessary for you. And you can derive this once you verify your smart contract address on the Polygon chain or whatever chain you're using. So you can get the ABI fetched from that. And then you create an ABI JSON file, which I have created like in the utils here. Now, this will look a bit messy here because I've added it in single line, but all the functions are defined here. So this is how the ABI works out. Okay. And now I'm gonna import smart account from my Biconomy smart account package. Okay. This is my interface props. Okay, I've added a couple of console log statements which don't make sense here, but I'll just remove it. Okay. Now I need to call my NFT address in my script because I'm trying to define what NFT contract address do I have to consider for this dApps, this particular dApp. Okay. Remind you, when we did the first part of social login, we were adding our chain ID like here, and we were adding our dApp API key as well. Okay. So here, if you see, there is a dApp API key which is using import.meta.env.wide Biconomy API keys. There's like meta is this import.meta.env way of using the API key if you don't want to show it publicly. So even in Minter file, I've got my NFT contract address, which is not viewable until unless you have an access to my .env file. So there is one .env file here, and then there's one .env file here. Okay. Now we are trying to get the NFT count and indexes. So you know, right? Indexes start from 0 while the count will like be from 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So after having use effect, we'll set up the NFT as balance count with calling the NFT count, okay, of the contract. Now, if you want to get the NFT count, how would that happen? So I've declared it here. How would that happen is that I will declare const contract is equal to new ethers.contract. I will use my NFT address, which I've defined here. Okay. Then I will call the ABI, which I have imported from here. And then I will have a provider. Okay. And then I will set the NFT contract in this. Okay. And then I will call the balance of function of the smart account dot address. So this is the part where this Biconomy's of function module, you can say that we are using. Well, this is coming from the contract right away. Okay. And this is the NFT indexes. So similarly, we are trying to get the NFT indexes and checking the token of owner by index from the contract. Now, this is a function we have defined in our TypeScript, which is mint NFT as balance, where we will try out minting 2 NFTs. Okay, so this is like an array that we are going to create. So for that, what you need to do is again call this thing, set the NFT contract, and I'm going to pass my transaction data. So it happens like this. I can have like more than 2 also. If you see, I've just commented it out. So I will call await contract.populate transaction.mint, which is the function I have in my smart contract. Let me just show you that. Okay. There is, okay. Contracts. Yeah. So you see, I have my function here called mint. So I'm going to call it in my minter.tsx. And then I am defining the data. So when you're minting, you need to define 2 and the data. Okay, so I'm adding the NFT address as my 2 and mint transaction1.data here. Okay. And this is the mint response. So when we are sending the batch transaction, the function that we have in the SDK is .send transaction batch. So I will do await smart account dot send transaction batch and call this array const transaction 1 and 2. Okay. And post that, I will get a transaction receipt, which I will call through mint response dot wait and a transaction hash. Okay. There is another function that I have created, which is why in my contract, I wrote transfer NFT. Okay. So there's another function I've added, which says that I can transfer my NFT to a different address. Okay. And I can also mint at the same time. Okay. This is slightly bit, I would say, again, a bit high level transaction that we are trying to do, because there is a, you can say there's a thing that you need to understand when you do a mint and transfer function. And the reason why I've done is that so that you can get a better understanding of how smart accounts really work. Okay. So I'm gonna just switch to, so yes, I have also set up here, if you see, I've set up a condition that you have NFT count as a function, NFTs in your balance, and then this part. Okay. So if you need to at least hold more than 2 NFTs in order to have an access to this part of code, which means that until and unless you mint 2 NFTs, you will not have an access to this part. Okay. Why we are doing it is because when you are trying to do mint and transfer, this is like a mint and transfer function, while this is a mint function. Okay. So when you do mint and transfer and you're transferring from your smart account address to a different recipient address, okay, you need to hold that funds, or you can say you need to hold that token in your account. So if I do something like, if I just mint it and transfer it at the same time, and if I don't hold that NFT in my account, then I will get a call gas estimation error because I don't have that asset. I'll not, the bundler will not be able to calculate the estimated gas that is required to send that transaction on chain. Okay. I'll see if I can show that part to you as well. But how this works out is, let's say I'm going to change. I will right now have like, oh, wait. Okay. So right now I've got 10 NFTs. Okay. So let's say if I change it to 12 and here also I change it to 12. So you see, I get please mint more NFTs to add as balance for transfer. So anyone who logs into the app, and if you create something like, you create, let's say, a faucet where you tell them that you need to have this much of funds if they want to send a transaction from their smart account address to another address, then they need to have that fund. So you can always create like a condition like this. Okay. So I will do mint NFTs as balance, because if I do this, I will get 2 more NFTs. I'll show you how. So this is a request that is being sent right now, and the gas which is being estimated. Let's wait for a bit. See, as soon as my count updated to 12, this part showed up. So I made sure that I have at least enough NFTs as my balance so that people can transfer NFT from this address, which I hold here, to another address. And I get a transaction hash out, like there's a mint response. Okay. So now we'll come to the another part. So let's try to check out the NFTs we minted on OpenSea. The most recent NFTs we have minted. Okay. Yes. So the most recent NFT we minted was NFT ID 19. And then, sorry, NFT with the token ID 19 and then 20. Okay. Remember this value. Okay. Now let's try to do one thing. Can anyone send me their MetaMask address, one address that I need, and I will send this. I will pick one random person and I will send this token ID onto their account. and you can see it on OpenSea for yourself. If you have ever created a MetaMask account, which I hope you would have done if you were trying to just check out Remix. Okay, I'll wait for 1 minute more. I'm going to drink water. Till that time, some of you can send your address, and I'll pick one address right now and send one of the token ID. Oh, this is nice. Great. Okay, going back to sharing my screen, desktop one. Okay, let me just share one of you chat box. Okay, I'm going with Melika. Okay, your address, which is 0x1b, ends with 4e2. I hope the screen is visible. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
It is, right? Okay, I'll just quickly refresh this once again. Okay, log in again. Okay. So I've got 12 NFTs. The last I told, right, the one that we minted was 19 and 20. So if you check it out, this is a function where I'm trying to call all the NFT ID I own with this address. It's like a drop-down menu that I've created. So you can check out the HTML and CSS code for this also, which is like written here itself, right? Okay. So there's like a whole drop-down like this, select NFT, and I've sorted the indexes as well, that it starts from like very beginning. Okay, so let's do this thing. Melka, this is your address. I'm going to add this as a recipient address, and let's select the NFT ID 20, which is right now in my address. Okay, I'm going to send it to you. Let's wait for a bit. And we get transfer successful and with a hash. Okay. Now what we'll do is let's check out Mahelka's account on OpenSea. Mahelka, can you check if you got this on your end also? I'll add it in the chat box. And I'm sharing it with everyone in the meeting. Okay. So if you want to check out on your end also, you can just click on this link and everyone will be able to see. So this address belongs to Mahelka on MetaMask, and we have successfully transferred the NFT I own from my account, smart account address to her address. Let's try to see this. So you can see here, there's a chain ID 80001, 8001, which is the Polygon chain ID. Then there's a data, then there's a from, which is this address. And then there is gas limit passed, nonce. Okay. So this is your transfer response with a hash that you saw. Melka, did you get the NFT on your end? Okay, I'll choose another one. Let's see. Money. Okay, I will choose your address. Okay. And I'm going to add it in my recipient address right now. Can you choose one NFT ID? Hello. Superb. I think Melka got the NFT. Money, are you there? I'm not sure. I'll just check.
Hey, Mani, can you give the NFT ID, please? Are you there? Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hi. Do you want to unmute yourself? Choose one NFT ID, or otherwise, like, you can drop me the number in the box, the chat box. Let's keep it a bit quick. Choose any number between 2 to 19 that you see here and let me know in the chat box. Let's keep it quick. 13. Okay. 13th, I don't have. I've already transferred that. I'll go with 14, okay? So let's check if I own the 14th NFT ID on my name. Yes, I do. Okay, it's right here. So BNFT with token ID 14. I'm going to transfer it. Okay. There you go. And let's check the token for money. Okay. See, did you see anywhere I paid funds from MetaMask or I got any pop-up? Anywhere? No, right? And the way we are doing this is because we have got a gas tank. Okay. When we do gasless transaction, that means the gas is something that is, you don't have to keep it here like on the front end, really. But in the back end, there is like gas tank that we maintain. So if you are someone who is building the dApp and you would be creating on the test net, so it's like not going to be costly at all. I can show you my gas tank. Okay, not this one. It's this one. Yes. So here is my contract. This is not active. This is the contract that I am using, which is verified on testnet, and it has ABI. So every time you verify the smart contract address, we can also fetch the ABI right from here and add in your ABI.json file, which I showed you. Which I showed you here, right? So ABI.json file, it's the same. Okay. And then I have the right methods that I have selected. This is the gas tank amount. So all the things that we do, the funds for the gas fees is being covered from this gas tank. Okay. Now I'll try to see if I can show you the matic depleting from here. So it's like 91945. You can remember this number to be precise. Let's see another one. I'm gonna pick. I'll pick Bhumika's address, and I will send her the NFT for, let's see, 21. Okay. And I will do mint and transfer. So okay, one another thing, I have also written mint and transfer, right? So you would be thinking, where is this another NFT being minted if one of the NFT is being transferred? So what I'm doing is I am adding this minted NFT back into the balance. Okay, because if you see my code, okay, here to show you the two transaction passing. Okay, here. So what I'm doing is I'm transferring one data and then I'm minting another one. Okay, so this one goes back to the smart account address, while transaction 2 is like a transfer function. This is coming to another address. Okay, we got the transfer response, so we will check again. Did you see the fund depleting? Remember, it was like some 55 in the last, and it's gone now. We'll try to send another one. Let's see what happens. And I will not change my screen. We can see that in real time if it changes. Yes. See, it's refreshed. Did you see? It just got depleted. It was 9105, I think so, and it just got depleted to 90267. It covered the cost for two transactions, even here and here. I used to have two Matic the last time I remembered, but it's depleted now. Got it? So this is how the batch transactions work out. I tried giving the overview of the dashboard also. The way you do it is like, just quickly I'll give you an overview. So I'll go back. When you can log in. So there's
I have a doubt here.
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, like here we did minting and transaction 1. So can we transfer to multiple NFTs to multiple accounts?
Yes, you can. If you have minted it and it's in your account, then you can. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Acha, okay, we must have them all.
Yeah, you should have that in your account. So, okay, I'll try to do this. Okay, let me see. This is transaction 1. I'll just change it. Okay. And let's call it transaction 1 and call it transaction 2. Okay. Transaction 2 data. And this becomes transaction 1. Okay. So if you see, I'm calling two transactions. Okay, let's see if this works out. I don't remember if I have to change more code here, but I'll try to test it out. Okay, I'll open localhost. More tools. I think no, you'll not be able to do here because here I'm having the selected NFT ID. So I'll have to choose two NFT IDs. I don't know if I can do that right now. Yes, I'll have to have like at least two NFT IDs selected. Otherwise, like if there was a different approach to it, right? What would happen is, let's say you, instead of having like NFT IDs, you selecting it, you can pick up last two NFT IDs automatically, put a recipient address or put more recipient address and do like a, you call airdrop, okay, in NFTs, where you can get like multiple NFTs or you send it to multiple accounts, to be precise. So if that would be the case, I can send it. I can send like two of these NFTs to this address, or otherwise I can send it to multiple different recipient address unless I hold these in my account and I'm using the same token ID, then I'll be able to do the transfer. Okay. If I don't own it and then I'm going to go and do the transfer, then I will face errors of, gas estimation errors. So yes, you can do it. The only thing is like you need to select those recipient address, mention it here, and make sure the NFT that you are transferring, you had already minted it in your smart account address. So this can act as a balance. This is the idea, right? This acts as a balance where you have minted this NFT. This acts like a balance, and then you can transfer it or send it to any address that you want. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
And
it?
can you please once again tell like why you chose two there? Like we must have two NFTs in there. If we have one NFT also, then also we can send one NFT to that particular person.
Wait. Where? In the code?
Yeah, in the code you wrote greater than equals to 2.
Yes. Oh,
So
this
if
is for you to understand. Oh, this, right? This one.
yeah,
Okay,
here
yeah.
you change
Yeah,
it.
you can change it to any code you want. Okay. You want to have
It can be one as well, right? There is nothing.
okay, let me think. Yeah, you can have one. Okay. But that would mean in that case, you are not going to do batch transaction in minting. Okay. So you will change the code according to it. Let's say where you are minting it twice, you mint it once. Okay. And then you do mint and transfer where you are able to mint it to a different address. At the same time, transfer that one NFT you have in your smart account to the recipient address.
Yeah.
Getting it? So here the idea was that I wanted to have at least 2 NFTs in my balance account, in my balance count, and out of which I will transfer one NFT to the recipient address, while it also mints one more NFT on its own. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So here, if you see, there is another mint happening, and then there is a populate
Transfer.
transaction safe transfer form. This is safe transfer form is coming from where? It's coming from your NFT contract. See, transfer NFT, safe transfer form. Got it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can change it according. I have just created it like a script that I want to have at least 2. If I want, I can do even 15, and I will get an error saying that, you don't have enough NFTs and all. So depends on you. Based on your use case, you can keep it any value.
Fine.
Yes. Okay. So I have told about Minter. I've told about NFT contract. What else? I've used hard hat. I remember last time I was telling about this. There is, I've not added hard hat in the resource, which I will do. So you can create a hard hat project using that environment itself, and then like you don't need to start creating different folders and then setting up the entire project the way I have done, because I know that this is like a lot. What I did was I tried setting up the environment using hard hat. So I use Mac OS, by the way, and you set the environment, then you create a new hard hat project. So when you do npx hard hat, npm install save dev hard hat, you get something like this. Okay. So I have done the entire project in TypeScript. If you do JavaScript, create a JavaScript project. If you do TypeScript, create a TypeScript project, and it will create set of folders for you. So the way it would look like is this part. Leave the cache, leave the src in white. The contracts, this whole package that you see, okay, this is your hard hat file, and this appears, the artifacts, the cache, this appears once you verify the smart contract. Okay, not the account, smart contract that you have written here. So this is again manually added to your contract folder. Okay, so in script I've got deploy.ts, where I've added ethers again from hard hat, and I will call this function to deploy it, and then I will do console.log. So every time my contract will get deployed, I will get this message, NFT contract deployed to with an address. Then this is my .env file, which I was not showing in the script. So it's in my env file. This is my private key, Polygon scan API key. So private key should belong to the wallet, which have a bit of funds, so that you can deploy the smart contract. Because if you do not have funds in your in your MetaMask. Okay, so private key belongs to your MetaMask account, so that initially when you deploy it, it's deployed from your MetaMask account, and then you call the NFT contract address separately here. Okay, so for this, I have another .env file. This is my Biconomy API key, which I'm getting from dashboard. So this is what I was showing. Let me see if I can sign in with GitHub. Oh, wait. It's not working for some reason. Okay, done. Okay, here you see. This is my API key. So as soon as you create a paymaster on the dashboard, you get this. Let's see, new paymaster. Let's call it. Okay, I'll choose Polygon Mumbai. I'll do register. And that's it. That's how you get your API key. You will copy this and you can add in your .env file, or you can also add directly in the dApp API ID. So in my app TSX, I have this dApp API key, right? So I will add it here and it will still work. Money. Okay, you asked, ma'am, how do we know we received? Okay, so just do this. Okay, this is the testnet of OpenSea. Just go to testnets.opensea.io and add your address that you had given me. Okay, so I will do it for you. This is your address, money, and I've added it to the OpenSea. If you click this, you can see you get the NFT here in your account. Okay, so this is how you can see. Testnets.opensea.io is your way of checking the NFTs on the testnet. So this is API key, by the way, getting back to it. And this is where you will add your contract. So you need to whitelist the contract, 2 parts. Okay, adding the dApp API key in your script and adding a contract. So you will add a contract, put a name. You need to have a verified smart contract address, which you would have deployed using Hardhat. You will get the API automatically. See, I didn't do anything. I just added my smart account. Oh God, I keep saying smart account. Smart contract address. Okay. Let's try doing this. It will only add, the API will only be fetched once you would have verified your smart contract. So you need to deploy and verify. This happens through Hardhat here. So you need to compile. NPX Hardhat compile is the way of compiling your contract. It will say compiling one file with this or 21 files, whatever the files you have imported. We have not written any test script for this, so you can skip this part. And then this is called deploying to a live network. Okay, so this is the code for that. If you're using like deploy.ts, have it like that, deploy.ts here. So npx hardware transcripts, deploy.ts, network Mumbai. Okay, so why Mumbai and how Mumbai, why not Polygon Mumbai? Because coming to this hardhat config.ts, if you see, I have imported .env file, hardhat user config, Nomic Foundation's hardhat toolbox, and the Etherscan. And this is the configuration that I have done. So I have put 2 networks, Mumbai and Matic. That's the name. Okay. So where you have to call the network, so where I'm calling the network, I have added Mumbai and Matic. And both of these will lead me to the verification on the Polygon testnet eventually. Okay, so this is like to name. If I delete the Matic part also, still my account, still my smart contract will be verifiable on the Polygon Mumbai side. Okay, this is the deployment. Let me see if I can check for the verification of this. For verifying, I've written it in the GitHub, never mind. So it's like a whole guide to what I'm explaining right now. npx hard at run scripts deploy.ts. Okay, and then you see we can verify like this. npx hard at verify network Mumbai. Here also Mumbai, here also Mumbai, and you will add the contract address which you will get after deployment. So when you do the deployment, that's why you need to add the private key of the wallet, which will help you to deploy it, because you need a bit of Matic in it. Okay, I've already mentioned that. And this is your dashboard configuration. How you will add the API key and NFT contract address, and then you will do npm run dev. So this is what you will get in the end of it. So most of this is I've explained it. This was the batch transaction and a bit of, you can say, utility that you can have in your dApp. So when you do create a dApp, I will just deactivate this one right now. Okay. So when you will create a dApp, this is the procedure you can follow on your own end. You can have NFT, ERC20 token. Okay, this one was the Uniswap. You can say Uniswap, and I don't have USDC. Uniswap with Biconomy, so which was like something you can connect to Web3. So this is how Uniswap looks. By the way, I will just show you. This is how Uniswap's apps look like when you need to have the Matic. So I think I do have funds here. There is ETH Global. I'll go to Ethereum mainnet. I hold $12 USD, which is like 0.0067 ETH. And if you see, it will fetch it from here. And then I can select a token, let's say WETH, or maybe let's say USDC, and then I can swap it. Okay, but here what is happening is that I have my MetaMask account. This is not the smart contract account. So this is what we have created for you. It's like how you can swap, like in Uniswap, how you can swap with your smart account address. You need to have USDC and it will swap for WETH. Okay. So yes, this is like a demo. You can try out later onwards, not extremely necessary. I will stop sharing and we'll take questions now. Okay, Mani is asking, without sending link by you, can't we see the token, ma'am, or else we have to create any account? You don't need to create an account on OpenSea just to check the asset right now, unless you want to also see how much you hold, how much Matic you hold. So I think without sending the link, how can you test? Let me see. Give me a moment, okay? I'm just testing out one thing on my end. I will go to my different address account. Okay, I will try to see. So I think, if I'm not wrong, MetaMask has this thing where you can check directly in your wallet if you own an NFT or not. But I'm not very sure if it would work out right now, because I can't see right now any NFTs on my MetaMask directly. Although on the OpenSea it's visible. So right now, if you have to test out, then you need to like send it. You need to check it on the OpenSea. Okay, how do I know that you send to me or any other? Where will be the difference? So this is where the transaction hash is helpful, right? I don't know if I showed you one right now, but let me see if I can. Let's go back to desktop one. Okay. I think we have the server still running up. So I'll just go click on localhost. Okay. I'll show you how you can verify it. Just quick one, and then we'll just try to wrap up because we are running out of time. Okay. So this is the address. Let me keep. Okay, I'll just use my MetaMask address here, and I'll select 24, and I will do mint and transfer NFT. Okay. Okay. So this is the hash that you get, which is verifiable or on Polygon scan. Yes, I know in MetaMask activity, you do not get the NFT. It's the same with me. It's possible because you need to actually import a bit, I think so, if I'm not wrong. And yes, I think you need to add manually. Okay. So this is the MetaMask. This is the MetaMask docs. Let's see if we can add it manually. But here I'll try to show you that how most of the companies, most of the tabs, they verify that you have sent a token. Okay, for some reason it's not showing here, but the NFT is minted. Oh, this is weird. Okay, I'll check this one on my end, but in MetaMask, if you want to import, what you can do is, let's see, this is the NFT account that I used. I'll go to OpenSea. I will check it. 0x272, copy. Okay. So I have NFT 24. Okay, let's try to see this. So okay, yes, you see, you need to have address. Okay, and then let's add the token ID 24 and let's see if it's visible. Oh, wait. It's not taking the one that we are putting here.
I guess the token ID needs to be same to what we are trying to import.
Yeah, I think it needs to be the NFT contract address. Okay, just let's try to check that one out. Maybe I'm just taking the recipient. So that's why it's giving the error. Yeah, it's the contract address, not the account address. Okay, let's go do NFT, then import NFT, then call this, and let's call token ID. Let's see if it shows. See, now is it visible? So the problem is, no, it's not a problem, but it means like you need to add it manually, because it's like a um in this cases you need to import it because of the EVM compatible chain. So if you're on Polygon or like BNB Smart Chain, you would need to do it. Okay, so here is where you can import it. You need to add your NFT contract address, and you need to add the token ID that you have sent on this MetaMask account, and under that you'll be able to see it. Okay, so this is how it works. But mostly, see, OpenSea will be the best place to check out that if you have received it or not, because I've minted these many. Okay, I have created the NFT contract, and it shows that this is the token ID created with this NFT contract, and they're like 28% unique owners, 25 items, chain Mumbai. Okay, and we can find out the owner also. See. This is the address you get. Okay, so this is why OpenSea is the best place to find out who has sent what. Okay, but yeah, if you want to showcase it like on MetaMask directly, then you can import it and have a token ID added to it. Hope that answers the question. Okay, what else? What else? Was the session helpful? I really wished if the house was full, but it's okay. Because I think the session is recorded already. How was the session?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
For starters, if we know only JavaScript and not TypeScript, so is it fine? Or we need to learn TypeScript in near
No,
future?
no, it's completely fine. See, TypeScript is just it's like a library, you can say. Okay. And it is very, very similar to JavaScript itself. So if you know JavaScript, it's completely fine. It's always advisable to learn JavaScript first and then learn TypeScript, because TypeScript is based on JavaScript itself. Okay, so even with that thing, what you need to do is you need to have a hard hat config file, and and that should be in JS, not in TS. So when you create the project, have hard at config.js, and that should be good enough for you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions? How was the session? Did you find it helpful? Did you learn something new? Did it make your head scratch that, okay, this is a bit, complicated thing, but you like it? And how many of you think you can build a dApp on top of SDK? And as I think, I hope Priyanka is on the call still. Priyanka, please do inform to the other girls that, if they do wish to build on SDK, I'll personally be there to like mentor, help them out throughout the building process of it. And the sessions that we have, the sessions that we have done, we have a resource to it. So when you do create the group with your fellow batchmates, we'll take up like, mini sessions at least once in a week, and I'll help you build out the dApp, and we'll have it like an open source, so you can always show that as a contribution, because I'm a very big fan of open source ecosystem myself. So yes, we will do it open source, we'll build it in public, and we'll have like a whole demo project created on top of SDK. You guys will, you all women will lead it, of course, and I will be there to support you like a pillar. So I'm really excited to see what you build. This is like, a service type of, you can say like, you can leverage it out as per your dApp. You want to, there have been so many dApps. I try to give example. And if you are someone who wants to try out a product which is based on SDK, okay, which is based on smart account, and you would also want it to be on mainnet, I'm going to send you a product link. Garima, please do pass it to the other people as well. Okay. So this is called Obvious Wallet. You must have heard about so many different wallets like Trust Wallet, MetaMask. Again, it's like in its own, it's a wallet type of thing. Obvious Wallet is made using the SDK and it's live on multiple chains. There is Ethereum, Polygon. I think they're also live on other chains too. And if you go and check out why Obvious, you can pay the gas fees in any tokens. If you do any transactions on smart account, you can test out how they're doing one-click transactions, how they're paying the gas fees in ERC20 tokens. And they have also added like a debit card feature, which hasn't come yet, but you'll be able to, try out these things. So do test out. It's on iOS. It's also on your Android phones. So check it out, see how do you find the experience. Maybe you can learn from that. Okay, I will add these links into your Notion document, and very, very excited to see what you all build. And feel free to go with JavaScript. I always 100% recommend JavaScript to go first with that, and TypeScript later onwards when you start building more regularly and more in a tedious way. But for the beginners, I think that would serve the purpose. Great.
That's so cool, Vanshika. Totally, we absolutely love this gasless transaction class. All the bash transaction hacks that you've taught us also. And obviously, the girls love minting their NFT. The most energy we see on Twitter threads is when they mint their NFT. And it's like a sense of belonging. And it's, I think they feel like they're getting richer already because the ROI is so quick. Yeah. So fantastic, Vanshika. And yes, we've taken a note of the Obvious Wallet also. So cool. On single transaction wallets are the best. So thank you for introducing us to this. And we will keep you posted on the Economy SDK projects that we are undertaking, and how we group the girls and which girls will be building on those. So thanks a ton. Yes, and girls, I think we can give a round of applause. This was the last session, the third session, but still Vanshika is going forward and coming on as mentor. So in your emojis, you can just like celebrate or like just give unmute and give a round of applause like that. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you so much.
Cool, Vanshika. Thanks for your time. I don't know if like Kiran is here. But yeah, just thanking on behalf of both of us. It means a lot that the girls can look up to you as a mentor and inspiration throughout, not just the cohort. So we're very thankful.
Yes, it was really exciting for me as well. Last 3 weeks, constantly brainstorming. And the best part is that, you get to speak to so many women at the same time, right? Because it's a very rare case that would happen. So I'm so happy to each one like who is learning Solidity, learning tech stuff, building things out, because I know we have like our own set of differences, but regardless of that, this initiative is so helpful for so many women in India specifically. So I'm so happy to see each one of you learning, progressing day by day. And I wish you very best for the next sessions that you'll be learning here. And when you start building your own decentralized application, I'll be very, very proud to see all the submissions that you'll be doing, regardless if you build on SDK or not. Still, it's like my own, it's like own personal achievement that I'll be able to feel when you build and you have learned from the sessions. So thank you so much for having me, Kiran and team. And thank you, Priyanka, for all the kind words. I see the chat. Thank you so much to each one of you. It really makes my day and the rest of it really better. So hope to see each one of you soon. And hopefully all the things that you'll be building, it will be really awesome. You might feel that, it's like you're slacking off, and maybe like you will have second thoughts around a lot of these things while you're in the process of it. But trust me, it's really normal to feel that, because in Web3, Solidity and other languages, other environments, they are pretty new, and it's fine to feel that, you are having a big problem, having a bit of troubles while progressing in it. So no one is perfect, and everyone is learning always, constantly. Like in this session, shout out to Mahilka for pointing out the transfer thing, because I just got an idea of like adding another feature in the demo. So while you teach, while you make mistakes, while you build, there is so much process involved. And I'm really, really happy to see that everyone is taking that initiative to learn and grow. So thanks once again. Hope you all have a great weekend. I think I did share my Twitter handle and my Telegram handle, but if not, I will just do it once again, that Vanshika0x is on Telegram, and then on Twitter, I am there by this is Vanshika. I'll be really happy to see all the progress you've been making. Feel free to tag in any of these things you'll be building. Very happy to check it out. So thanks once again. All right, cool. Not sure if Kiran is here. Okay, great then. With that, I'll think I will be closing the session. Thank you so much again for joining me, and see you later. See some of you building on SDK, and all the really, really best.